Hi, I'm Helen and welcome to class. Today's practice will be an intermediate flow focusing on balance and strength. Props today, possibly 2 blocks, and we will begin lying on the belly. So come down to the earth. Get there any way you can. Hands are stacked on top of each other, bringing the forehead to the tops of the hands. And just relax here, releasing the shoulders, breathing, feeling the contact of the tops of the feet with the earth, with the thighs, maybe the pubic bone, the hip bones, the belly, the ribs. And just breathe here for a moment. Coming to settle, thanking yourself for coming to class today. Letting go of the morning you've had or whatever lies ahead. Now is the time to enjoy the sanctuary of the mat. From here, turn the head so the right cheek comes to the tops of the hands. You're looking towards the left and bring this left knee up parallel to the hip. And breathe here. So this is just a very mild lateral bend, getting into the hip, open it up in external rotation. The foot is flexed to protect the knee. Just breathe here for a moment or two. Noticing how this feels in the body. Then release back down and do the other side. So bringing the left cheek to the tops of the hands, looking over the right shoulder, bringing the right knee up parallel to the hip. The foot is flexed, so the leg is in a 90-90. Breathing here. Just observing, enjoying. Then return to neutral. Bring the forehead back to the hands momentarily. Then lift the head and come into Sphinx pose. So the elbows are just in front of the shoulders, palms face down, chest coming through the gates of the arms, pubic bone pressing into the earth. Legs are going directly behind you, with the heels facing towards the sky. Chest is wide and open, collarbones wide. Gazing point just in front of the mat. And breathe here. So this is a supported cobra, also known as Sphinx pose. It's a great mild back bend to really start to extend the spine. Feels so good. Maybe there's a little bit of compression in the lower back, and compression can actually be beneficial to the body because it stimulates our joints to produce new cells, rejuvenate, juicing them up a little bit, squeezing them out. It's a principle that is embraced in Yin Yoga. Then bring the head back down very gently, stacking the palms again and bringing the forehead back to the earth. From here, bend the right knee so the foot is face up towards the sky. So I'm going to keep my head lifted here because of the microphone. And on an inhale, lift this right leg away from the earth. So this is an extension of the hip, activating the glute and the back of the leg. Imagine that you're pushing the foot into the sky and release down. Again, inhale, lift, activating the back of this leg. And exhale, release. One more. Inhale to lift. Keep breathing. And then release down. Straighten the leg again and we'll do the second side. So bending the left knee, left foot is facing up towards the skies. If you're going to push into maybe the clouds above or the sun, and an inhale, lifting this thigh off the floor, so really activating the glute and the hamstring. Breathing here, trying to keep the lower back long, and exhale, release. Inhale, lift. A few breaths here. And then release. And one more. Inhale, lift. Pushing that foot up towards the sky. And exhale, release. From here, move the hands underneath the shoulders, and on an inhale, push up and gently back into a child's pose. So this child's pose, the knees will be parallel, so it's a narrow-legged child's pose. Hands are extended in front, pressing the fingertips into the earth. Maybe the head comes to the floor, maybe not. Upper back is wide. Triceps are lifted off of the earth, as are the forearms. And we'll come into a few rolling child's poses, children, I don't know how to describe it. On an inhale, start to lift the hips off of the feet, round in the back into this Halloween cat. Then dipping the belly, lifting the head and the chest through the gates of the arms, and then exhale, round back. So it might take a few goes to get the breath patterns. We're exhaling back, then on an inhale, coming up into cat, moving into a cow, then exhale, rounding, and the seat comes back to the heel. So just moving through the articulation of the spine as we start class. Always good to wake the spine up. We don't want to do anything too crazy. Just start to feel the body and the movement and the breath. Observing where we are today. Every day is different. One more of these. And come back to a child. And then up to hands and knees. Grounding into the left palm directly underneath the left shoulder. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. And exhale, tucking under for thread the needle. Bringing the right shoulder down, the right ear down. The left arm can be extended in front, or if it feels good, you can bring it behind and tuck the inside of the right thigh. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can extend this left leg long, and if a bit more, you can lift it off of the floor. This is quite awkward. Needs a lot of engagement in the body, particularly the core, to balance. If you've got the leg lifted, slowly release it back to tabletop. Bring this left arm up and down, pressing into the earth. Unravel the way you came in and release down. Second side, right hand under right shoulder. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, left arm threads under. The right hand can be extended in front. It can come behind and hook the thigh. You can keep the legs where they are, or you can extend the right leg long, or even lift it off the earth for a balance. So this is juicing up the core straight away. We've already woken up that glute, so this is a little bit more for the glute. And then slowly release down, whatever version you're in, coming out the way you went in. And we'll all meet in tabletop. From here, move the hands about one handprint in front, tuck the toes, and come up into your first downward facing dog. Just pedaling out the feet here, opening up the backs of the knees, the calves, the backs of the ankles, sit bones are to the sky. Equal weight in both hands, focusing on the knuckles, or the base of the fingers and thumb. Widening the collarbones. Imagine that you're elongating the spine and
Maybe start to settle the heels descending towards the earth. They never have to touch. Breathing, triceps rotated towards the back of the room. From here, on an inhale, we'll roll forward to plank pose, making sure the hands are underneath the shoulders. Feet are about hip distance apart. On an inhale, the right leg will lift parallel to the hip. Then flex that knee like we did laying down with the foot going towards the sky. Inhale, lift keep it in a plank, engage the glute and just lift this thigh a little bit towards the sky. Back down, extend long, back to plank. Other side. Left leg bends, foot flex towards the sky. Engage the back of the leg and just lift it up a little bit. Extend long, back to plank. A couple more each side, bending the right leg. Right foot to the sky. Leg returns to parallel, extend long and down. So this is very slow mindful movements. Left leg bends, left foot to the sky, back level with the hip, extend long and down. One more each side. Right leg bends, right foot to the sky. So we're keeping in a plank the whole time, back to the hip, and then straighten, last one. Bend the left leg, left foot to the sky. Back to hip height, extend long. Back to plank, back to downward facing dog. Take a free breath. It's always good to do a plank to wake up the whole body. Such a good strengthening posture. Not only for the body, but also for the mind. Inhale, roll forward to plank again. Right leg lifts off the floor, bending this knee again, pushing into the sky with the foot. Return the leg parallel, bringing this right knee across to the left elbow, back up to the sky, straighten and down. I don't know if I explained that very well. I'll try the second side. Left leg lifts. You're still in plank, flexing the knee, pointing the left foot to the sky. One glute lift, one down. Then knee across underneath the body to the right elbow. Back to the glute lift, extend long and down. Back to downward facing dog. Try that again. Inhale forward to plank. Lift the right leg, bend the knee. One glute lift to the sky. Down, right knee, left elbow, back to the glute lift, extend long and down. Left side, left leg lifts, bend the knee, left foot to the sky, knee bent still, bring it across to the right elbow, back to the glute lift, back to the straight leg, release back to plank, and downward facing dog. Bring the knees down and just come off the wrists for a moment and shake them out. Already dripping in sweat. Moving on from there, starting dog. Inhale forward to plank. Right foot lifts off the floor. This time knee comes into the left elbow. Rotate for fallen triangles. You can keep the leg extended or you can have it down on the earth. Then we'll rotate down and lower the hips. Left arm comes down. This right hand, which was the one supporting you, comes up, touching the left foot. Back up. Rotate round and back to plank, then dog. Try this on the second side. Inhale forward to plank. Left leg lifts. Left knee, right elbow. Fallen triangle, hovering or foot on the floor. And then lower the hips. Right hand comes down. Left arm comes up. Touch the foot. Down. Cartwheel back around. Back to plank. downward facing dog. Again, a few more times. Rock forward to plank, right leg lifts, right knee, left elbow, fallen triangle, lower to the earth. Tap in this foot, this furthest away. Rotate back round, plank, downward facing dog. Plank, left leg lifts, fallen triangle, left leg kicks through. We lower down, left foot, left hand to right foot, lower back down, cartwheel, back to plank, downward facing dog. It's actually easier than I'm describing it. Forward to plank, right leg lifts, fallen triangle, lower down, touch this foot, cartwheel down, back to plank, left leg lifts, fallen triangle towards the right, lower down, right foot, left hand, return, cartwheel, back to plank, downward facing dog. Take a free breath. Then look forward and walk to the top of the mat. Come into a forward fold. Engage the front spine. On an inhale, come all the way up to standing. Palms to the sky, palms to chest. So you should be all nice and warmed up now. We'll move through some standing sequences, working on our strength in our legs and balance. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. You can jump or step back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step up. Come into a low lunge. Get a stable base. Right hip pulling back, left hip coming forward. Grounding into the front heel. On an inhale, all the way up to high lunge. Take a few breaths here. Just reconnect. Notice your positioning. Front knee over front ankle. Shoulders are released down the back. Arms straight and strong. And the destination here will be to aeroplane lunge. So keeping the legs as they are. On an inhale, the body leans forward and the arms come back. So you're in this aerodynamic shape, ready to launch. Take a breath or so here. Then palms come to the chest, grounding into the front foot. We'll come into this variation of warrior three. Breathing deep. Back leg is bone straight. Fixed gazing point. Then release back to aeroplane lunge. High lunge. Vinyasa. Remember, vinyasas are always optional. You can always just go straight back to dog or to a child. Take a free breath. Second side. Inhale, left leg to sky. Step up, high lunge. Get in the stable base. Take a breath or so in your high lunge. Get in the alignment, pulling this left hip back, right hip forward. Shoulders are relaxed. Arms straight to the sky. And as you inhale, leaning forward into aeroplane lunge. This is really activating the core, and there's all this extra weight on this front glute. Breathing deep. Grounding into all four corners of that front foot. Getting your fixed gazing point as we transition to warrior three, bringing the palms to the chest. Weight comes up. Body is a seesaw. Whoops. Breathe, engage the whole of the back body. Back leg is bone straight. And release back down to aeroplane lunge, high lunge, vinyasa. So we'll build on from this, working on our balance and some glute work. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step up, come into high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Transitioning into warrior three, bringing the palms to the chest. From here, bending the back knee like we did laying down and doing one glute lift. Maybe a bit of a challenge. Extending the right arm forward and keeping the left arm back by the left leg. Then left knee to right elbow. Back out straight. Come all the way up for standing staff. Back to a warrior three. Back to high lunge. Hands plant. Vinyasa. So that involved a little bit of concentration. We've always got the second side to get it. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step up, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Palms to chest. Coming up for warrior three with the right leg extended behind. Then bend the right knee. One glute lift to the sky. Then left arm extends forward. Right arm, right leg going to the back body. Bring in the right knee to the left elbow for one. Back out. Then swinging through for standing staff. All the way back, landing into high lunge and vinyasa. Meeting in dog. Wiping the slate clean. Taking a breath, reconnecting. And again, right leg to sky. Exhale, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Palms to chest. Warrior three with the palms at the chest. Bending the left leg, one glute lift. Straighten the left leg again. Left arm is straight by the left leg. Right arm forward. Right elbow to left knee. Back out to this version of warrior three. Coming all the way up for standing staff. Then externally rotating this left leg. The arms are up to the sky. You're going to bring both palms down to the inner ankle. Lift back up. Both palms to the outer ankle. So move through internal, external rotation of this hip. Come back up. Come into tree. Palms to the chest. Pressing that left foot into the right leg. Catching your breath. Palms up to the sky, knee to the center line. Standing staff. Swing through, land in high lunge. And vinyasa. So again, that was a lot. We'll do it again on the second side. And as we keep adding on, it becomes a recognizable sequence in the brain and in the body. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, step up, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Palms to chest, warrior three. Bending the right knee, one glute lift to the sky. Straighten the right leg again. Right arm is alongside the right leg. Left arm extends. Left elbow, right knee. Back to this warrior three variation. And swinging all the way up for standing staff. Bending this right knee, Both palms come to the inner ankle, so externally rotating this right hip, come back up, internally rotating to the outside of the left ankle, come back up, tree pose, right foot into left inner thigh, palms to chest, fixed gazing point, reconnect with the breath. Arms back up to the sky, knee comes in, standing staff, swing all the way through, high lunge, vinyasa. And breathe. So we have one more little addition to do, and we'll run through that twice. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Palms to chest. Warrior 3. Left knee bends, left foot to the sky. One glute lift. Release. Back to warrior 3. Left arm extends long by left leg. Right arm forward. Knee to elbow. Come up, standing staff, bending this front knee, both palms to the inner ankle, lift back up to the, outer ankle, lift back up, come into tree pose, activate your root lock, pressing that thigh into the sole of the foot and vice versa, rooting down to rise up. And from here, release the tree leg, bend the standing leg and come into eagle. So the left leg, let's get my alignment. Right knee bends, left knee hooks over the top of the right knee, maybe a double wrap. Left arm under right into this eagle. And the transition from here will be to warrior 3 with eagle arms. So unraveling this top leg, extending it back, coming forward the body like a seesaw. Breath here, then release into eagle wrap lunge. Arms to the sky, plant the hands, step back, take a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, wiping the slate clean. Over the toes, downward facing dog. Taking a free breath. And side B. Inhale, left leg lifts. Left foot steps up, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Palms to chest, warrior 3. Bend the right knee, glute lift to the sky. Straighten the right leg, right arm alongside the right leg. Left arm extends forward, knee to elbow. All the way up to standing staff. Hands together, bend this front knee, lifted knee, sorry. Palms to the inner ankle, lift up. Palms to the outer ankle, lift back up. Tree pose. Breathing, reconnecting, focusing. Tree leg will release. Bend the standing leg, cross the tree leg over the top of that. So the right knee's on top of the left, right arm comes under the left for eagle arms. And keeping the arms together, unravel, come into eagle, warrior 3. Release to eagle lunge. Arms come up, vinyasa. Take a breath. We'll do that one more time through. Doesn't matter what it looks like. All that matters is the effort you put in and how that changes you, makes you stronger in the mind, self-belief, and in the body too. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, step up, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge, palms to chest. Warrior 3, variation. Bending the left knee, left foot to sky, glute lift. Straighten the left leg again, left arm alongside left leg. Right arm extends forward, elbow to knee, extend out again. All the way up to standing staff. Bend the lifted leg, palms come together, touch on the inside of the ankle, lift back up, the outside of the ankle, lift back up, tree pose. Breath or so here. And releasing this tree leg, bending the standing leg, eagle, left arm under right, elbows lift. And keeping the arms together, unraveling this leg, coming into eagle warrior 3. Release back to eagle lunge. Release the arms up, high lunge, vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Last side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step up, high lunge. Aeroplane lunge. Palms to chest. Warrior 3. One glute lift. Extend the leg long again. Right arm extended back. Left arm forward. Knee to elbow. Extend out. All the way up. Standing staff. Bend this lifted leg. Palms come together. Touch the inside of the ankle. Back up. Outside. Back up. Tree pose. Palms to chest. Reconnect with the breath. Root to rise. Tree leg is released. Crosses over the top of the standing leg. Bend deep. Maybe double wrap. Right arm under left. Eagle pose. Then lift this top leg. Eagle warrior 3. Release into eagle lunge. Arms release to high lunge. Plant the hands, step back. Take a vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Knees come to the earth and just come to a child's pose. Reconnect with the breath. Maybe wipe off the sweat. Don't worry about how it looked. I was all over the place in some places. Every day balance is different. It really is a lottery, so never beat yourself up because you can't do it. And come back up to downward facing dog. We have one more standing flow to go through. So that was nearly all closed hip. This will be an open hipped flow. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, step up. Destination is warrior 2. Front foot intersects the back arch. Arms come out to a T. Breathe here.
Front knee over front ankle, hips are parallel to the earth, shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, flip the front palm, come into a reverse warrior. And from here, straighten the front leg so you're in reverse triangle. Destination, triangle. You may need to shuffle this back foot in, reaching it up the waist and hand coming down to the shin, to the floor, a block, wherever feels good. Stacking the shoulders, grounding down into the base of the front toe. Externally rotating that thigh, grounding into the back edge of the back foot. And from here, lifting this bottom arm, we'll bring it out in front. So it's a floating triangle, engaging the core. Breathing deep. And release this top arm down, come all the way back up. And the destination from here is into tree pose. So we've already done tree once. So we're coming onto this front foot and bringing the tree leg up. Moving into a standing pigeon. So gently, this tree foot, which is my left foot, will shuffle across the top of the right thigh. So the outer ankle is on the right thigh, and gradually sit down into a seat. Lengthen in the spine, seat going backwards. So this does depend on the openness of your hip. Otherwise you can just remain in tree. Then we'll come back up, step back to a warrior two, and vinyasa. Other side, left leg lifts, step up, warrior two. Get your base. Inhale, flip the palm, reverse warrior. Straighten this front leg, reverse triangle. Come up into regular triangle. You may want to shuffle the back foot forward, reaching out of the waist, finding the triangle for your body, with props, without, whatever feels good. Grounding into the base of the big toe mound, externally rotating that left thigh. Then lifting this bottom arm, coming into this hovering triangle, working on core strength. Back up to a standing triangle, destination, tree pose. Coming forward, coming into tree. Breath or so here. Getting that stable base in the left foot. Then shuffling this tree leg into standing pigeon. So the outer ankle comes on top of the left thigh. Seat goes back. Bending at the hip crease. Coming forward. Finding a fixed gazing point. And coming back up. Step back to warrior two. And vinyasa. I was a little bit distracted there because some monkeys just arrived in the garden. Even though I've seen them so many times, it's such a novelty for me to have monkeys come and visit. We'll move on from that. And if you've got blocks, it might be advisable to place them near the front of the mat, one each side of the mat. You don't have to use them. I will probably use them. And we'll move on. A right leg lifts. Step up, warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Reverse triangle. Regular triangle.
floating triangle, back up, triangle with kind of warrior two arms, destination tree pose, coming forward with grace and elegance, palms to chest, and coming into this standing pigeon. So this is where you might need your blocks because we're moving down into toe stand. So bring in the seat back, and sometimes it helps to have the blocks here to help, and bringing the seat to the heel. So again, this depends on the openness of the hips. These blocks are not very stable. Whoops. So you kind of put the heel in between your glutes, lengthening out the spine. You may be able to bring your palms together at the chest if you're very stable. I'm not. Breathe in here. Then we reverse it. So I will use the strength. Oops, I'm going to have to put these blocks back up. I'm getting in a right pickle here. Coming back up to standing. Back to standing pigeon. Back to a tree. Back to warrior two. And vinyasa. Reconnect. Let go of any attachment to what it looked like or what you achieved. Remember, it is a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step up, warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Reverse triangle. Inhale, regular triangle. Floating triangle. Back up to a triangle with warrior two arms. Grounding into this front foot, destination tree. Then standing pigeon. Sit in the seat back as far as it will go, bending this front knee. Keeping the foot flexed to protect the knee. And then the destination is toe stand. So my right hip is quite tight. I don't know what's going to happen here. I need longer arms. Oh, I did it. Remember the heel goes in between the glutes. You may be able to bring the palms to the chest. Maybe I have to bring one up. Breathe here, fixed gazing point, feel good about it. Smile, laugh. If you fall over, so what? And then from here we come out the way we went in. I'm going to have to release my leg. Back to standing pigeon. Back to tree. Back to warrior two. And vinyasa. Wiping the slate clean as you come through upward dog, downward facing dog. And you'll be pleased to know that's the end of the flow part. Look forward, empty the lungs, bend the knees, and jump or sit through, come to seated. I'm getting all tongue tied. Pull the flesh of the buttocks back. Coming into staff pose, just seated, maybe close the eyes, connect with the breath. Observe how you feel, body and mind. Bring this right knee in. We'll come into Marichiyasana A. So grounding into this left hand, right arm extends to the sky, reaching between the legs. Internally rotate the shoulder and maybe connect. You can always use a belt or just hold on to the clothing behind, trying to keep the chest parallel to the earth as you descend forward. Long, even breaths. Then inhale, come up. Release the leg long and we'll rock forward into pigeon on this side. So this was the right leg we were just opening, or the right hip. Leaning onto the right glute, swing this left leg behind. Coming into pigeon. Getting your base and then descending forward. Relaxing, surrendering. Breathing deep. Coming back up, swinging this back leg forward. We'll come into Marichasana A on this side. So right leg extends forward. Left knee to the sky, about fist distance between the inner ankle and the thigh. Extend the left arm up, reaching inside. Maybe coming into the bind. Always can use a belt or your clothing. Surrendering forward. Coming back up, moving into pigeon on this side. Just swinging the right leg back. Lengthen out the waist. Both hips are parallel and descend forward. Stretching out the glute here. We did a lot of glute work today. And inhale, come back up. Swing this back leg round. Coming on to the back. Feet are directly underneath the knees. Knees pointing to the sky. And on inhale, lift up the pelvis for a bridge pose. Just opening the front of the body here. Opening the psoas. It's always good to do this as a counter pose for all that stepping forward and the standing sequences. Lower down gently, knees come up to tabletop, arms to cactus. Allow the legs to fall gently over to the left side, maybe looking over the right shoulder. Back to neutral, over to the other side. So feet, knees falling to the right, head looking towards the left. Knees back to the center line. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe bringing the face up towards the knees, giving each knee a kiss. Thanking your legs for getting you through class today, and then very gently extending out into Savasana. Just allow the feet to flop open, palms to the sky, shoulders down the back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, face relaxed, tongue relaxed, eyes closed, mind relaxed, nothing tense in the whole body, and just surrender into the earth. Stay here for as long as it feels good for you. And I will close class by saying thank you for practicing with me today. And I hope to see you again soon.